Okay. And what happens when something doesn't work? We will do a lot of experiments. And there are basically 6 levels of optimizing things. And they are, when something doesn't work, when you don't get that equation working, you're spending in media and you're not getting your return back, here's what you can change. First, you can change your funnel architecture. What that means, though, is, oh, maybe I put the ad goes directly to a sales page instead of getting the lead. Maybe I get the lead and then they go to the webinar or whatever. So basically, you change the components of the funnel. If that doesn't work, then you start changing the look and feel of the funnel. How maybe your page is not trustworthy. Maybe your page is not designed well enough. Maybe your copy is complicated. So if you change that and still doesn't work, the equation that so you need to change the market maybe. And this is from how easy it is to more difficult, and you will see why it's more. So maybe you are selling facial recognition software, and maybe you say, okay, I'm going to sell to advertising agencies to test their things. And okay, you do the funnel, you do a lot of tests, and blah, blah, blah. You still don't get the thing working. Maybe the market is wrong, and you need to go to CTOs of security agencies. I don't know. Maybe if changing the market doesn't work, maybe you need to change the math. What I mean by that is maybe you are trying to recover your money too quickly. You say, oh no, I put $100 in AdWords, I need $100 back tomorrow. Well, that's just impossible. You just need to raise more money because you will need to wait for 12 months. And when you look at companies like HubSpot or Box or things like that, I will show you their math. They spend up to $11,000 to get a customer, one. So that's why they grow so quickly, because they're burning $1,000 to get a customer. But that's how they went and raised the money. So sometimes you need to change the math, because all media works at some point. So if I'm in the yellow pages, right, and I'm just investing in yellow pages, all over the world, at some point I will have one customer just by chance, because a crazy guy just, or maybe in television, oh, maybe it's too expensive, but if I put my break-even point in 100 years, then maybe television works for my company, but you don't have the 100 years to wait. So maybe sometimes you need to change the math, and that means raising more money, waiting more time, or just growing slower. And if you cannot change the math, then you need to change the product. Maybe you need to do it a little bit smaller, expand it, whatever. And if all of these doesn't work, here are the bad news. You just need to change the guy or gal who made all these decisions. But when my wife is driving, this is the sexiest joke, but when my wife is driving and she goes, I don't know if the car feels well, whatever, and I go, honey, I think the problem is between the wheel and the driver's seat. And sometimes you need to say, you know what? I made all these decisions, I got them wrong. And this one is the hardest to change, right? I always tell my team that they say, oh, but you work like this and you work like that. And I go to my team, there's a guy that is on firewall in this company, and that's me. I will go down with the shit, but no one is firing me. So these are the only things you can change, okay? So now that that was in 4 slides, the whole presentation. Now let's take it a little bit farther. So we're all in the same business. We went through this. We tried to turn advertising impressions in money, happy customers. If this is true, then we have a profitable business. If not, game over. And that's basically it. So the idea number 2 of 12, and again, if you're getting bored, you know at least how many ideas I got left. So hopefully you build a unicorn. But really, it's unlikely. I would love that you guys build a unicorn, because then I get to say, that guy was in my speech. And hopefully you send me a Ferrari or something, but suppose that doesn't matter. But statistically, it's very hard, right? And even here in this cohort of people, there are some people that they will do well. And there's some people that they will go and crash and burn and get a job, and that's fine. What happens though is it's also not probable that your product is as good as Dropbox or the next iPhone or Evernote or whatever. I hope it is. And even if it is awesome, you will need traffic to prove that it's awesome or to tweak it, right? So we will focus a lot on how to get traffic, not only to get sales, but to get learning. Because you cannot learn if you are not getting real people. You can speculate, but you're not learning with data. So distribution won't make your product suck less. So if your product sucks, there's nothing I can do to make it suck less. What I can do though is help you fix it. Because the normal launch cycle is you created your product. You told all your friends, you got investment from 500, blah, blah, blah. You got featured in TechCrunch, and then boom, you got a lot of signups. So awesome. After you did that, hopefully you had analytics in place. Most people don't. And you see that no one is coming back to use your product. So you say, oh, this is a problem. So you're going to deploy some fixes and now you need another bunch of traffic to test your hypothesis. But you already are out of friends and TechCrunch cover you. No one, TechCrunch is not going to get a new article saying, oh, Rocket tests B2 of their funnel. Go and sign up to see if it works. Doesn't work. So you need to get traffic to get data. So that's where distribution, at least at this stage, comes in. Because it allows you to learn. And you don't need to spend a bunch of money. You need to spend the minimal amount of money to get the maximum amount of learning. So a lot of guys in this program, what they will do is, I'm going to spend $100 a day. And suppose that allows you to get 10 users a day. Can you learn with 10 users? No, it's not statistically significant. So maybe with 100 you can, suppose. So it's a lot smarter to spend $1,000 in one day, get 100 users, and learn from those users, turn off the advertising, deploy the fixes, and then go again, than spending $100 a day and waiting 10 days to get the learning. Make sense? So that's why I love the idea number 4, because you need to master instant paid traffic. I love SEO, don't get me wrong. Who loves free things? Everyone. And free traffic is better. The problem with SEO is it takes longer to build that traffic. And if you pivot, then whatever effort you made, then it's lost because now you're doing other stuff. So you need to be able to learn in this program very quickly. You need to master paid traffic. You need to go and be able to buy the users you want with the target you want and learn what's happening with them. Make sense? So it will save you a lot of time and make you learn faster. And when we say free traffic about SEO, there's not such thing as free traffic. You either pay with sweat, like working, or you pay with money. And money is faster, SEO works and it's beautiful, but by the time it works, your acceleration period is over, or you're out of money. And you can turn paid traffic on and off as you switch, right? If you're deploying some changes to your website, you say, you know what? I don't fucking care. I put a template in my homepage and say whatever until I figure it out. If you have SEO, then you will have a lot of people bullshitting Twitter about your site being down. And I'm aware paid traffic doesn't work for every business model. For Dropbox in the early days, for example, it didn't. But it does work to prove concepts. So if you have a landing page, then it's a lot better to drive some traffic. If you have a viral loop that you want to test, then just spend $1,000, get the metrics, and see if that works. You can accelerate your learning a lot faster. Okay, idea number 5 of 12. Most new startup funnels are too lazy. What I mean by too lazy is that they just look like that. And this causes a lot of problem. First, if you are in a competitive market, like CRM, anyone has a CRM company here? No. Okay, that's awesome. Because the click is $50. So someone clicking in a CRM ad is $60 in Google AdWords. So guess how fast you will run out of money trying to prove you're a good CRM company. You will quit. And even if you make it work, it's hard to scale. You need a lot of capital and whatever. So, and especially if you do just search marketing, you know, when you do only Google AdWords search, you cannot do anything to scale that traffic up. There's just so many people searching for CRM in a single day. You cannot build demand, you just fulfill it. That's why it's so effective, because someone goes, buy CRM, and you go, oh, I have a CRM. Very effective, right? But you cannot do anything to scale that traffic up. So, and here's the worst problem. Then you did this thing, and you say, you do search marketing, and now you have a customer acquisition and a conversion rate. And you go and say, okay, awesome. Every customer I get, I spend $20 in Google search, and then my lifetime value is $50. I can go and raise a lot of money. Then you go, you raise a bunch of money, and then you promise your investors that how much money is going to cost you to get a customer, $20. The problem is you're starting with the metrics on the most efficient channel on earth. It's basically people searching for something you are selling. But that's very limited targeted traffic. You cannot do anything to get more people to search facial recognition software or whatever credit card, best credit card. And if your competitor is willing to spend more money than you because he insists more in your funnel, you're screwed. But basically, you're attached to what you promised to the investors, and then you start having board meeting disasters. Because when you need to scale that traffic up, and you go to the board meeting and you say, you know, customers are costing me twice as much. The guy goes, yeah, well, but I invested in another business with another unit economic. So what I try to do is to mix channels and approaches so you can get real data on how much a customer costs you at scale. So what I do is I mix the channels where I can put ads on, Google Display Network, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Gmail, Twitter, Yahoo, Bing, Taboola, Outbrain, or whatever. And I have approaches. So basically I mix these with your main keyword, facial recognition software, your brand, someone is going to search your brand, your competitor's brand, because you want to be there if someone is in that buying cycle. And then lateral thinking, which is maybe if you're selling a CRM software, maybe someone is searching for how to increase sales. And I can go, want to increase sales? A CRM will help you, free demo. And I can go and announce and put my ads on keywords that are not that obvious. So the idea is we go from this to something like this, and we will go and build the 20 plus campaigns that every startup should run. And that's something that I want you guys to build, because this will give you maximum traffic with a unit economic that makes sense at scale, because you cannot do any more of, like, you probably could think about a little bit more about other campaigns you can run, but you will be close to these at the maximum creative thinking you can do. So the main idea is, okay, we have campaign type number one, which is what everybody is doing. You search for CRM, Soho appears there, right? Now, the problem is we have $44, $49 for these keywords, and then also there's only 110,000 people searching for that every single month. And if I get a click-through rate of 5%, that's whatever, 5,000 clicks, and that's it for that keyword. So that's a problem. With these 25 campaigns, you will fix that problem. So then you can do Google search your brand. And you can go, Acquisio, for example, is a tool that we use to optimize AdWords spend or whatever. And then if you search Acquisio, you have your ad there. Why you want to have your ad, even if you are first in the search engine results? Well, would you love to have the whole page with your keyword? Yeah. So you're recognizing that having more space in one page is better than having less space. Well, this is very cheap actually to do, and you should do it. And if not, what will happen is your competitors will come and announce in your keyword. So now you have Kissmetrics, someone that is searching for Kissmetrics. The guys from Mixpanel, they go, tired of your reports hanging. And now if you're looking to buy Kissmetrics because you were searching for it, now you see this ad and you go like, is this true? And you start searching to see. So basically I deviated you from your normal buying cycle or your normal buying path just for having this ad. And now you can do Google search. So suppose you're in the CRM market and someone could go Excel dashboard for sales and look at what happens. CRM for sales, grow customers, and I'm selling CRM. And that's why lateral thinking works, because there's not that many people announcing on or putting their ads on these keywords. So you need to think about that. So some examples of lateral thinking that we did in my company, I had a weight loss info product. Clearly I don't use it, but it's a good product. So what can I do? I can go and go head to head with people that are on the weight loss market, and I'm competing with my $47 ebook with people that sell treatments on the $1,000. Who do you think can pay more for a click? They can pay more for a click, right? So what do? If a woman goes and says, buy diapers online, what do I know about that woman? She was pregnant, has a baby, she probably has some baby weight to lose. So that's entering the market from another side. If someone is searching for a wedding dress, what do I know about her? She doesn't want to be the fat bride, right? And I can go and put an ad like, are you sure how do you make sure your dress fits you? Like shit like that. Or someone is searching for wedding catering. They're getting married. Or wedding gift. My wife, when he's searching for wedding gift, I know she wants to be the hot blonde in the red dress, so she doesn't want to be fat, and I can advertise there. And if someone is searching how to breastfeed, when the doctor gave me our kid, Pedro, you will see it in a picture later, the fucker didn't come with an instruction manual. So my wife was like, oh, whatever they search, I'm there. Whatever they're reading on the internet, I'm there. Do I stop there? No. Which site is the second largest search engine in the world? YouTube. Good. So now I do YouTube ads. When someone is searching for, how to lose weight or whatever, I want an ad there. When someone is searching for my brand or whatever, I want an ad there. When someone is searching for my competitor's brand, I want an ad there. And it's amazing that I had CRM companies that we suggested, Salesforce has Dreamforce, or they have this conference there, and you can target that specific video and say, aren't you tired of a CRM that is hard to use, blah, 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 and you can start with that video until they find you and they say, I don't want this advertising in my video, but you can do that, target a specific video. Your competitor or whatever, with these approaches, you can target whatever video you want and show your thing. This is good even for recruiting. Sometimes it's very hard to get good developers or what are they watching online and how can you put an ad there? Make sense? So now the guy is seeing what they search, seeing whatever they're reading, and they're going and seeing you in YouTube. Do we stop there? No, we run Gmail ads. So suppose someone is Shopeando, for example. Someone may buy from Linio also, right? So I can go and say, would you love to steal Linio's mailing list? That would be good, right? So I can go and say, when my email has Linio, when they receive an email that has Linio on the text of the email, I want to show them ads about why are you paying that much more money or whatever. Or for example, if you really know your customer, about the psychographic of your customer, if someone watched a movie, sometimes Amazon sends you an email. I don't know if Netflix doesn't send you an email, but if I was a competitor to Netflix, I could target, because of the Can Spam Act, everyone needs to put an address below the email, right? So I can use those as my keywords, and every email that sends out in Gmail, I'm there. What this happens, I do that with my competitors or whatever. And when you visit Amazon, and suppose you have a product on whatever, filmmaking. So when you visit Amazon and you spend a little bit of time on that product, the offer that comes next day, what is it? It's about the product you watch, right? It's email retargeting. And you can go and target people. And you can say, if you have a Gmail account and you're watching an email or you're reading an email about camera, whatever, I know it's a guy interested in that, I can offer you my product on Gmail. The volume is a little bit low. This is not a very high traffic strategy, but the conversion rate is awesome.
You can do it on YouTube too.
You could do it in YouTube also. So when you start doing all that thing, you start driving a shitload of clicks to your site, because now you're everywhere. And now what you do is, if someone hit my landing page and didn't sign up, and someone signed up but did not activate, I start having ads for all of them. If someone activated but did not purchase, I can say, hey, you're missing these features because you're doing the free trial. If someone targeted people who went to the checkout page, I'm in the Spanish market, right? So people are very afraid to put their credit card online. I don't know if they're right or not, but I can take them back saying, if you hit the checkout page and you didn't give me money, I can put an ad saying, here's a coupon. I can put an ad, hey, do you want us to call you? Do you want to call us back? Order today, don't forget what you had in your cart, whatever. And then I can do the same thing via Facebook. I can do retargeting via Facebook. What this allows you to do is have that full contact distribution where you will say, hey, Juan, am I spending a lot of money? No, because in reality, you are targeting people that are very interested in your product. You're doing retargeting or remarketing only to those people, but the effect for someone buying facial recognition software, which I promise you, it's not hundreds of thousands of people. It's a very high ticket item, but you're the Coca-Cola of facial recognition software when you apply this. And if you cannot convert people being the Coca-Cola of that market, then there's something wrong with your product, with your price, your marketing, whatever. And this approach allows me to figure that out very, very quickly. Does it make sense? And then I go and do Facebook campaigns, and I target people who are interested in AI and in Terminator and in finishing the world and in Skynet or whatever. It's just making fun. But I would love you to explain me later or at the party how it works. I'm really interested. Who are part of groups that tell you that they might be interested in that product, who have jobs or positions that might be interested in that product. People that are fans of your competitors or complementary products. People who read books that are, give you an interest about that. And then you create similar audiences of your customers, of your leads, and you target those. And basically, that's what you do. And now you have a shitload of traffic, very qualified, and a lot of people say, suppose you are spending a lot more than your budget for all this stuff. What I want you to do is, we created an engine that generates a lot of qualified traffic to your site. What I want you to do is turn it on, learn, turn it off, make a tweak, then turn it on, learn, stop it, make a tweak. Make sense? And this will give you I get a lot of traffic, then I turn it off, I learn what I need to learn, and then you have email retargeting and marketing and whatever. We will talk about that later. And then, I don't know how many campaigns we're at, but if you're still counting, then you clone Yahoo and Bing, there's some people that use them. I promise. We are Gmail guys, probably. Who has a Hotmail account or Yahoo account? You still have that?
I still have my husband.
Do you use that for dating or what?
No.
It's like, but normally we use the Gmail account, right? But
No, I use email.
yeah, okay.
But I still have my old Hotmail account.
Okay, so that was back in the days of dating and whatever. What I'm trying to tell you is there are people that still use this shit, and some of them, they're your customers. For example, in my mailing list in Spanish, 65% of people use Hotmail, and I hate it because it's like the spam filtering and all that stuff. Like normally it goes to, like, you need to do a lot of tweaking and sign up with return path and all that shit. But I wish it was another way. But I had a mentor told me once. He said, every time I argue with reality, I only lose about 100% of the time, and it's true. Like if my guys are in Hotmail, I just need to support Hotmail, and I spend a bunch of money in Hotmail and Yahoo and Bing. Okay, so some of the results. Is this worth the trouble? This is one of my accounts, and when you look at it, we spend, this is only AdWords, but we spend $1.1 million, and my spend in the display network, it was $979,000. So if you're only doing search marketing, your company is probably 5 times smaller than it should be. Of course, search converts better. I can afford to pay more per lead because the ROI is better. But then I cannot scale because I cannot do anything to get people. So for example, you have a cinema app, right? So if you go buy tickets for Batman online, then you're only targeting people who are interested. The conversion rate of that, it's amazing. But what happens if a romantic movie comes out, and then you go and say, hey, why are you waiting? When I go to the cinema, why are you waiting for him, you target women, to buy the tickets? Just buy these tickets and surprise them. That creates demand, doesn't fulfill it. And if I'm able to create demand for my product, my scale is a lot bigger. Make sense? That's why I want you to go and master the art of display and being everywhere. So, whatever. So, and who knows E24? Well, some people hear me do this talk, so they know the example, but it's actually funny. So, how can we get lateral thinking to the extreme? And they did that. And look at the results. So, these guys are in the food delivery business, right? So they needed more traffic, and they needed cheap traffic. So they figured out in the porn sites, there's a shitload of traffic that is cheap. And about 2/3 of men said that they watch porn. The other one was lying. And 1/3 of women. So of you guys, the 3 of you, if you hang each other, there's 2 of you that have their hands dirty. So, in any case, and they're very popular, right? You have Google, Facebook, and X videos, and YouPorn is more popular than Wall Street Journal and Forbes. So there's a lot of traffic going to this side. The cost per impression is like 1/10. And then, what are people announcing on porn sites? Well, and all of this someone told me. It's not that I know. I don't know if it's true. But, so, there's more porn, and the other thing is fuck buddies, like cams, and mail enhancement, and whatever. And the design skills of the guys advertising in porn sites are like this. So basically, you have a lot of, traffic. You have same offers. That basically, if you get same offers, you get blinded. Like, you just don't look at it that much. And you have people with these design skills. So these guys said, I want to be creative. And they started doing this because they also start from the customer insight, that what happens after you do your thing? You get hungry. So you go, eat me, wash your hands. I already did it with it. So you have this BLT with your BDSM, blah, blah, blah. But not everything is allowed. A horse is okay, but a cat seems it's not, a unicorn, whatever. But, they don't allow you to put any ads there. You need to be careful. They have their rules. So what are the results of this shit? Of thinking and going lateral? Well, they got more customers at the same cost or less. And I don't know why. The guys that they got via this channel, they got 4 times the retention than the customers they got for Facebook. So it's interesting. And let's look at this. And they had some collateral damages. Like the porn stars started tweeting like, Tara Lynn Fox, look what I got, thank you, Eat24. Then, just don't Google this shit here. Just do it on your own at home. You have this girl, Alex Chance, and Tara Patrick. I think I love Eat24 more than I love my girlfriend, but to be fair, my girlfriend doesn't bring pizza to my door. If you Google this girl, she does some amazing things. So,
it's been really difficult researching.
Yeah. My wife doesn't believe me that this is for work, but. So what happens? Look at this company being edgy in their marketing, trying to go into a blue ocean of traffic that no one went before. They got and they did a press release, and look at their press release. Eat24 successfully secures $0 in funding. Isn't that funny? So basically, they have over 150 employees, and they generated about $150 million in sales by the end of the year. So these things work. And actually, I think I don't have it here, but let me search for it, because I think they got bought by Yelp for a lot of money. Eat24, Yelp.
They're integrated right into the Yelp page.
$134 million. So if you think this doesn't work, just think again, it might. I'm not saying it will work for everybody, but the way of thinking, $134 million.
There's a lot of college students.
Yeah. So, there we go. So, how far can you go lateral in terms of how far can you think about out of the box? Very easy. It's a math question. Until gross margin and conversions allow. If you put $1 and you get more than $1 back, just go do it. And go lateral as much as you can until it stops working. Okay. And is it worth it? And for me, it's not only worth it. If you're a startup, it's needed. You cannot afford not to do this, because then you're learning a lot slower with a lot lower traffic. So why it's needed? This is one thing that happened when I went to Malaysia. I was working with a company. You see, this is ringgits. And they were getting on search this impression share. Basically, they were appearing in most of the searches. And their position was, 1.2, 1.3, 1.1. Maybe I can go and raise this one a little bit. But I cannot do anything to get more people searching. So if I don't master that shit, you're basically capping your business. Mm-hmm. So the idea number 7 took a while, but was it worth it? Oh, yeah. Yeah? Awesome.